Tonight we party, my friends.
Sip on mezcal, I like tequila, damn this shit tasty. Kid you not, I made about $1 million off a pink beanie. I feel like my life is a movie, damn this too easy. Can't catch me, I'm jumping the borders, hit the embassy, it's bag or die.
Pretty cool, right? I bet you want to make something like that. So you look up Roblox movies on YouTube, and suddenly you're watching a Brookhaven family drama that's 47 minutes long. Wrong kind of movie. But I can already hear you guys.
Well, what's wrong with those kind of movies?
Let me tell you. Whenever you're making a movie inside a game like Brookhaven, you are working with whatever the game gives you. You can't build your own sets from scratch. You're limited to the animations and poses the game includes, and your field of view is stuck at 70. We'll talk later why that's a much bigger deal than it sounds. If you want your movie to actually feel like a film, you need complete control over everything. That's why we're using Roblox Studio. There we go, what every Roblox movie starts with. Absolutely nothing. But that's why we make it into something. First, you want to get your buildings and your set figured out. I'm going for a zombie apocalypse look, so that's why I am looking up facility. Checking it out, just to see if I like it, and I do. The next thing you would want to do is get your rigs out. I usually go R15 and grab 2 of them. But you can also go to your plugins and go to a character inserter and insert your characters that way. Next thing you want to do is change the names of your dummy. So I'm going to go Bill, and then I'm going to go Zombie. Now they still show, so that's why you go to your Properties tab, open them up, Humanoid, Display to None, do the same thing, Display to None. And now I go ahead by deleting their faces because I will be changing them later. But now you want to get a plugin that is a character inserter plugin. They're usually all the same, so that's why I'm not going to bother showing. Now you want to go to your browser, look up Roblox catalog, and get all your accessories. So here I am searching for zombie apocalypse shirt, and I'm looking through and finding this cool Survivor War Apocalypse shirt. Next, I'm going to go by copying the asset ID and then pasting it into the character inserter and pressing apply. You want to go ahead and do that to all the characters. I'm not going to be doing it, so cut. Now that you have all your characters done, you want to get the faces. So I go ahead by looking up head in the toolbox. I grab 2 of the heads, and this will make a lot of sense later. I name one of the heads eyes and the other head mouth. The next thing you want to do is go away from your scene and look up face pack. The one I usually use is the Guts and Black Powder Dynamic Face Pack. So I'm looking at the faces to see which one I want, but I want the ones with separate. So separate from the eyes and the mouth. I like these eyes here, so I'm going to grab it and bring it over to the eyes head. Next, I'm finding a mouth that suits me the most. And I like this one right here. So I'm going to do the same thing, grab the decal, bring it all the way over to the head. Now, this part right here may seem a bit difficult at first, but when you get the hang of it, it'll be very, 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 very easy. you're gonna have to weld them to the head. So by grabbing the Easy Weld plugin, you want to click the head of your rig first always, and then click the eye's head and click join. You want to do the same thing to the other head. So click your character rig head first, then the mouth, join. But you don't see them. That's why you're gonna just grab both the eyes and the mouth and move them forward. But you still see gray. This is easy fix. You go to the properties tab and select the transparency, put it all the way to 1. Now you can move the eyes down and the face up as much as you like. Now that you have everything, the next thing you want to do is working on the animating. Alright, before we continue with this segment, just remember, I have been animating for about 5 years. This is my 5th year this year. So my animations might be looking a little better than yours. Don't take that the mean way, but just keep practicing and you'll be getting there. So first things first, just letting you know, I am not creating a full-on fight sequence with these two characters because it will end up 3 hours blood, sweat, and tears into one animation that will end up looking like this. Yeah, I know, horrible. So we're gonna be stepping away from that and just focus on the sentimental, easy parts of animation. And you want to focus on easy parts as a beginner. So open your Moon Animator, new Moon file, and add your character. So we got Bill, and we got the zombie. Boom. You can click these 3 dots here, name it, timeline size, which is how long the animation is. Keep it at 60 FPS, don't touch that. And to be honest, I really don't know what this means. So therefore, you don't need to know what it means. So that's good. I'm not gonna name it because I'm not saving it. So what we're trying to make here is Bill talking to the zombie. So we're gonna want to get Bill in a good starting talking pose. So let's bring him down a little bit. Maybe he's a little mad at him, so he's a little more forced, you know? So we're gonna bring this arm up. With a little bit of swing action. This arm a little bit more up with a little bit more swing action. That's pretty good. Let's bring the head down a little bit more. Just like so. You got that. Now you want to go to your middle frame. So let's go to 40. Bring his body up with his arms up. So let's see, I kind of did it up a little bit, so we're gonna bring it back down just a little bit and head it a little bit down. And then we're gonna bring this to 90 and bring the hands back down with it. There we go. You're saying, and it doesn't really look too bad. And you're saying, oh, it looks horrible. 5 years of animation, and that's what you can come up with? No, we're not done yet. So you see how this, and this, all the dots, they're all together. You want to move them around. No human will move in a straight motion, so which will make it look a lot really robotic-y. So that makes it look a lot better already. And you're saying that still looks horrible. Why aren't his legs moving? Because normally when you're doing a talking animation, or when I do it, my camera is more up here, so that makes it look a lot better when he's doing it. Okay, and okay, it looks pretty good. Some of you will be fine with that, but I'm not, because you can make it 10 times better. What I mean by that, you want to animate in sine or quad and out. What the heck does that mean, you say? It's easy. This is how you get smoother animations. So you just select them all, keyframe, edit selection, and you're here in the edit keyframe, so it's your style, it's your easing. Sometimes you'll be pointed to this screen when you do that little steps, you just have to click ease. So right now you're on linear. You want to either go to sign or quad and keep it on in out. So sign, I usually do sign for talking, so I'm going to keep it on sign. And this is what it'll look like. 10 times better. So maybe you want to do a little bit of head action while, oh, that's face action. We want to do head action, yeah. So we got a little bit of head action. Now he looks really mad. So that looks like a lot better. And maybe you want to finish it off by going down a little bit. It's always good to just like play your animations and add, you know? So that's what you got. Yeah, that is fundamental, easy steps of making your animations better and better and better. Alright, now here we go. The key to cinematic. This will cover camera and lighting. These are the main parts besides the animation. Your animations could look beautiful, but without the camera and the lighting, it will just not feel, you won't feel that cinematic movie, you know? So let's start with the camera. You just simply go to camera, click add, and there you go, you got your camera. You got field of view and the C frame. So start with the field of view. Remember when I said that in the Roblox Brookhaven movies, field of view is stuck at 70? Right now, it's at 70. So you just want to switch it, let's say 45 for talking. But if maybe like fighting you want to do a little lower, that's okay, or a little higher. I say either to 50 to 35. 35 is the absolute lowest I would go. I don't know if I would even go that low, but it's pretty good. Now, you want to do your camera. You want to say, like, here's your center of your screen. That's where your viewers are going to be watching. So how do you know where your center is? Just go to camera, and turn on the grid, just like so. And have always the face of your character or the eyes either in the middle center of the box, left, right corner, just in the box of the middle. Nowhere over here. Just say your eyes are over here. It'd be weird because your viewers' eyes are already here, so now they're gonna have to look all the way this way. That's why center of attention is at the face. Now, since that is good out the way, we could do that. Now let's work on some camera movement. So I'm just going to play to the end of the animation, which is like that. And now I'm going to zoom in on his face. And click C frame again. See how this looks? See how that makes it look more dramatic, like he's informing something? Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, we want lighting. I'm thinking of more of like dawn, so, you know, kind of, you know what dawn, I hope you, I don't need to explain what dawn is to you. So never keep the same skybox as the original skybox. So always just go to your toolbox and look up skybox. Always such better options. Don't buy these ones that are $4, $3. You can find a good one like this one, HD skybox free. Look how beautiful that looks. But it's not dawn. No, it's not. Let me fix it. You go to properties and you go to the lighting. You change the clock time and you can change it to like dawn. I like that orange look. So now that we got the lighting all down, let's see. Let's get rid of the toolbox. That. And you can click Control H to hide your animation thing. And you can click play. And look how beautiful that looks. That is cinematic to the max. Alright, here we are. Editing. Probably the hardest part after animating. Because you can spend hours making an awesome animation, but if the editing is bad, people probably won't stick around to watch it. I'm not going to make a full editing tutorial because that'd be a whole video on its own. Instead, I'm going to point you in the right direction. If you're a beginner, I highly recommend CapCut. It's free, easy to learn, and has pretty much everything you need to get started. If you've been editing for a while and want more advanced tools, I do recommend DaVinci Resolve. It's also free, but it's made for more experienced editors and works best on stronger PC. If you're editing on a laptop or lower-end computer, CapCut is probably the better choice. Now let's go over a few things that can make your animations feel much more professional. First, sound effects. Don't just throw music over your animation and call it a day. Add footsteps, cloth movement, punches, weapon sounds, whatever fits your scene. Those little details make a huge difference. For example, remember that talking animation we made earlier? I added sound effects to it, and here's how much of a difference it made. See how much more alive that feels? The animation didn't change, I just added audio and it instantly became more engaging. Next, ambient sound. If your scene takes place outside, add wind, birds, rain, or distant traffic. If it's indoors, add a room tone or a quiet background note. If it fills the silence, it will make your world feel more real. Then there's music. Make sure it matches the mood of the scene. The music support the story instead of distracting from it. And finally, don't overdo the effects. You don't need a crazy transition every 2 seconds. Sometimes the cleanest edits are the ones that look most professional. If you have any questions or concerns or comments, leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to help. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day.